So the goal of the Redlining Project is to look into and research the legal and social mechanisms of racial exclusion in Ada and Canyon counties. And we're doing this by looking for the CC&Rs, which have exclusion clauses which make it impossible for anyone who's not considered a member of the white race to purchase a home in certain subdivisions. During the 20th century, two underappreciated practices, redlining and racial covenants, were widely used across the United States in a way that maintained housing disparities based on race. Developers and private landowners embedded racial covenants in property deeds, prohibiting all people who were not white from owning, renting, or occupying that property unless they were doing so as a domestic servant. Typically, these racial covenants ran with the land, a legal term that means they're really hard to get rid of.
We didn't find redlining maps that the government did, but we found private racial covenants that private citizens and land developers and realtors and loan officers created here in Idaho that were very widespread. And so we followed the research that direction. And in Ada County alone, the researchers that were part of this project found over 50 subdivisions. These are huge areas with hundreds of houses in them each that still have racial covenants attached to their houses.
The significance of this project for me personally is that I'm a student of social science, and I have read sort of how historical racial inequality in the past have impacted today's inequality in the United States, and it's very significant to be able to go research on the ground by myself and see how for example, in Idaho, there were racial covenants and how people were persecuted throughout the history from right to housing and other sort of racially discriminating actions, and how that has impacted those people today in the United States, and be able to make an impact on the ground.
So the methods we used for this research project was basically looking at all the subdivisions in each county in Idaho, and basically we were trying to find any racial covenants within the subdivisions.
One of the coolest things about this project is that it allows us to create a tool that we will make available to homeowners, to the public, and it will essentially be a map that shows all the subdivisions that we have been able to locate in Ada County. And so the map will allow people, homeowners, to type the address of their house, and it will immediately direct them to their house essentially and show if it is located within one of those racial covenants.
From there, we link to the county recorder's office, which is where the law comes into play. And there's going to be a modification document on the county recorder's office website. And so an Idahoan can, in 15 minutes, essentially nullify a racial covenant attached to their property.
And we're doing this for two reasons. The first is so that people who live in those homes today can remove these clauses legally and easily. And we're also doing it because we want to make sure that all of us who live in these counties understand the history of why the places that we live look the way that they do.
I think it's just very shocking to be able to see like all of this racist language that is in the documents of a lot of the neighborhoods and places that I know and places I grew up in. And I'm glad that this project is giving me the ability to kind of change that and make it so that the Treasure Valley is a more welcoming place for everybody to live. I think the College of Idaho is a great place to conduct research like this because of the very diverse community we have and a lot of different viewpoints and place of experience are represented. And our program allows people from a lot of different backgrounds to be involved in the research.